What's your emergency?
Welcome back to That Weewoo Show, a podcast where we watch and discuss episodes of the ABC show 911. I'm Bex.
I'm Alice.
And I'm Ellen.
And welcome to 2026 for all of those listeners who are listening to us as this episode drops in January. We hope that you had a wonderful holiday season, whatever you got up to.
Yes, I hope you ate just the exact amount of cheese that you needed. And not any extra.
Maybe a little bit extra.
Yeah.
As we say every week, thank you to everyone who has listened to our episodes so far and has taken time out of their busy schedule to rate us on their podcast platform of choice and share our episodes and social media posts to try and get our little podcast into more people's ears. We really do appreciate it. We'd also like to give a shout out to some comments that we got through in the end of 2025. As always, big thanks to Kira, who tried to explain the vagaries of homecoming to us. I still don't think we really understand, but I don't think that anybody
I don't think
really
Americans understand either. Yeah.
Thank you for trying. It's just a thing that they do and it's fun. So that's good.
That's fine. If they get excited about a football game, that's fine. Shout out to Dee, and apologies for not trigger warning our episode of Home and Away for references to Alf. We're not entirely sure if you meant the character from Home Away or the alien Alf, but either way, we are incredibly sorry. And finally, we'd like to give a shout out to Pigeon, who left us a very comprehensive comment on thatweewooshow.com on the episode Malfunction. So if you would like to take some time to head over to our website and read that comment, I highly recommend it, because they took time out of their revisions on a major project that they're doing for work to educate us about tax season in the US, health insurance in the US, and tourniquets. So we really do appreciate that.
Yeah, it was great. I love when I come away learning things from comments. I'm like, yes, please educate us. It's like free school.
Yeah, and if you are binging all the way through up to this point, then hi. Welcome.
Thank you so much for your comment.
You made it.
I hope your project was great.
So before we get into the first episode of 2026, and oh boy, what a doozy to start the year with, Alice, could you remind us what happened in the last episode that we discussed?
Yeah, I might need to remind myself because I do not remember. So last week on 911, Buck chased Ravi with a chainsaw, May stood up to Claudette, Athena desperately needed therapy, and Chimney and Maddie are still gone.
Oh, yeah. I miss them.
Me too.
All right, so and they're not back in this episode either. So this is this episode's kind of like a little encapsulated, isolated episode kind of thing. Like, I don't think anything in this episode relates to anything that's come before particularly.
No.
Interestingly as well, this episode was actually supposed to air like a week later. And was switched with the next episode.
Oh, and then there was a whole big thing that somebody dropped it too early.
Yeah, apparently it released online the morning it was supposed to air rather than that night.
Oh, no.
Yeah, Hulu got it early, and so everybody watched it, and then I believe most of the fandom were very, very good at just not spoiling it.
Right. So this episode aired earlier than it was meant to, right? On November the 8th. So this is before, like, probably would have been before Thanksgiving, because that's usually later in November.
Yeah, so it was supposed to air November 8th, but aired November 1st.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
That's weird.
Okay. Yeah. So, wow, so
right.
the summary has both dates on it.
Oh, something got very mixed up in this whole thing.
So this episode aired at some point in November
Some point in November.
Some point in November 2021. We're not entirely sure we know when it originally aired, but it's sometime in November 2021 it was released.
Yeah, I guess the point is that there's not really too much long game character development in this episode, so they could have put it in any point in this season probably.
Yes.
At least while Chimney's away, he's not in this episode.
Yeah, this episode only has 6 of the 11 main cast members. So yeah, no Chimney, no Maddie, no May, no Harry. Who else is a main cast member?
I just kept thinking of that video where like Kenneth and the others were celebrating how many episodes they'd been in the series. And I think Kenneth was saying that he was in more episodes than anybody, but he probably would have been in even more if Jennifer hadn't had to take maternity leave. And so they booted Kenneth off set for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Apparently, Michael was also a main cast member.
He
And
was
he
this
obviously also
season,
wasn't. Yeah.
yes, which we will discuss a little bit later on.
Okay. Well, let me do the summary and then we can talk some more about it. Okay, so
No,
this is episode 6. We're up to episode 6 already. It's called Brawl on Cell Block 911. And the summary just says, responding to a fire at a prison, Bobby and the 118 find themselves trapped in a deadly riot. That's it. That's basically everything that happens, broadly speaking. The triggers include, I like how you have Mark Pellegrino as like the first trigger in this list. So
I was triggered.
it's a big one from me, okay?
it's kind of a big one for Supernatural fans. The American prison system, abdominal surgery, like graphically showing lots of blood and stuff. Child at threat. We have the generic cops tag. Hostage situation, organ donation or transplant, prison riot, surgery, suicide via gunshot, threat of gun violence, threat of physical violence, and stabbing.
All the fun ones.
Yes.
So we do have to preface before we get into this episode that coming from the Supernatural fandom, between the three of us, have varying degrees of feelings about Mark Pellegrino as an actor and as a human being, which for varying degrees will affect our perception of this episode. So if you are
I don't think it's that varying. We just don't like him in general.
Yeah, we just hate him.
It's not that varied.
I don't think any of us like.
All right,
don't
none of
like
us
him.
like Pellegrino at the same like level of dislike and distaste. But basically,
But he
what
wasn't
I'm trying,
terrible in this episode.
what I'm trying to say is, if you are not from the Supernatural fandom or the Dexter fandom or any other fandom where Pellegrino,
Or any fandom, because he's in everything.
if you have not seen Mark
Watched TV
Pellegrino,
before.
if you have crawled out from under a rock to simply watch 911 and you've never seen Mark Pellegrino before and you don't understand why we are hating on this episode and hating on this actor, we are very sorry. We're going to
Just
try...
check his Twitter and you'll...
we are going to try and do as much of a balanced... we're never balanced. Look, I will preface right at the beginning, just to set the tone. I did like the episode. I just wish it didn't have Mark Pellegrino in it. Otherwise, I would have liked it a whole lot more.
Yeah. Like the
That's
episode
fair.
Hate the Actor, basically.
But then, unfortunately for me, the actor kind of ruined
Yeah.
the
Yeah, well, I
storyline.
found that I had, after the beginning part where I was in the most weird cognitive dissonance, it just felt very strange.
Yes.
I had to actually just completely separate him from his real life persona. Just forget that he was who he is, because it kept distracting me away from the episode. And I'm like, look, I'm just gonna have to pretend he's just a new person that I've never seen before. And then in that way, I was able to
You
enjoy
are obviously
the
a
episode
smarter
a lot more.
person than I am, because I was not able to separate. So, yes, we're putting that out there. That
Yeah.
That's the other problem with Mark Pellegrino, is because he's so much like all his characters are the same, and because he's so much like his characters, whenever he comes on, it's just like, oh, it's Mark Pellegrino. Like, it's not like, oh, it's that guy that I've seen in the things. Like, it's just the same guy.
He's not an actor that inhabits a character. All of the characters are just variations of him.
Yeah, like, Jennifer Love Hewitt is obviously in a lot of things, but I don't, like, when she's on screen, I'm like, oh, it's Maddie. Like, I'm not like, oh, it's the Ghost Whisperer. Except in that one episode where she was the Ghost Whisperer. And, like, Chimney, I've seen, like, Kenneth Choi in a lot of things, but in 911, he's Chimney.
Yeah.
I just always see Mark Pellegrino and say that it's Lucifer.
Yeah,
So-
like, he's just the same guy in everything.
All right.
Well,
Shall
at
we
the
get this
beginning
ball
of
rolling?
this, yeah, let's do that. When I suspect that it was probably because the song that is playing is Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues, and it felt like the first 5 minutes of a Supernatural episode, and not because of Mark Pellegrino, but the feeling of it was really.
It was very Supernatural vibes.
It was very. I was like, this is. It's showing its like DNA of this show. Like, it wasn't until Josh showed up in the 911 call, and then I was like, oh, that's right. I'm watching
Yeah, right.
911.
I had the same sort of weird, like, feeling. I was like, what am I watching again? And then Josh showed up. I'm like, oh, that's right. And then the 118 showed up. I'm like, this is the wrong Bobby investigating this case. Like, what's happening right now?
Yeah, it's very odd. But anyway, yeah, we're at the prison.
We are at Jamestown State Prison, where we are following one of the guards named Vaughn, who has arrived for his shift this morning. And so we are following him into...
It's 4 p.m., but this morning. Yeah, it's his morning.
It's his morning, because apparently he's on night shift. So we're following him into the prison, and through him we're meeting all of the bit players that are going to play a part in this episode. So
Yeah, we found out some names, like he sort of called them by name, and then I immediately forgot their names and had no idea this guy who was looking at the security system was called Eyes. What?
well, we actually do get a name for him at some point. I think his name's like Isaacson, but he's just Eyes through the entire
that makes
thing.
sense. Yeah.
Right.
Because he's like security, he's got eyes on everything, so he's
And
like,
his name's
he's
Eyes.
It totally makes sense, but
Eyes.
I did not catch that, and
I don't pay attention to the one-offs, honestly.
there was just the prisoners and there was the security guys, and that was it.
The problem with 911 is that they occasionally bring back a one-off player, like a one-off actor, and then they're just like, oh my god, you're the guy from the thing, and I'm like, what?
Who?
Who? When?
like the bloody porch pirate.
Yes, the porch pirate and
Lola and Norman, I think.
yeah, they come back later.
Yeah.
And there's also someone else who comes back later who's in, I don't even remember.
Jeffrey.
Yeah, Jeffrey. I would not recognize Jeffrey. And yeah, there was an actress who came back in one of the recent seasons as well.
Yes.
And Buck's like, oh my god, you're that girl, and she's just like, oh god, and I'm like, what are you talking about? And I had to Google it because I had no idea what they were talking about. And she was in a season from like 3 years ago. Like, sure, why not?
Yeah. But I mean...
Anyway, moral of this story is I probably should be paying attention to these people, but I never do.
But
Have not learned.
Yes, I mean, there is that, but there's also that they are sort of semi-important to the riot storyline, so we constantly are coming back to them, so it's good that we meet them. So we meet Eyes, who is the security, like the main security guard. He's in this like reinforced pod with all of the security cameras footage, and he's responsible for buzzing people in and out and letting people through the gates. Then we also meet the doctor, and
he looks so done because he walks past him and says, "Morning, Doc," and Doc's like, "It's 4 p.m." So that's where he's like, "It's morning to me," and I'm like, "Why is this guy so excited to be at work?"
And he's been there a long time because one of the other guards is like, "Oh, your dad's been like, my dad said you've been making that same joke since he was here."
Yeah.
And so this guy's like basically part of the furniture at the prison, by the sounds of it.
Mm-hmm. Then we also meet Garcia, who appears to be Vaughn's boss, but he's not like high up in the, because he's not the warden, because they do mention that the warden is somebody else. There is a new warden. But he is obviously high enough above Vaughn that he is able to give Vaughn orders, one of which is that he needs to take Mitchell for a walk, because apparently Vaughn is the only guard that Mitchell likes.
Yeah.
And this is when we meet Mitchell, and Mitchell is played by Mark Pellegrino, who for some reason is in a completely different prison outfit from everybody else in the prison.
Yeah, and he's in like a cage on his own, basically.
He seems to be in solitary... Yeah, he's in solitary confinement. We don't really get much of a backstory. We get a bit of a backstory on him, but not like a heap. But he appears to be in solitary confinement. He gets his like allocated walk a day where he's also solitary. So like he is just in a like little yard by himself. There's not really much to do. He literally is just standing there eating it. I don't know where he got the apple from, but he's standing there eating an apple.
But he's not even in the yard, because I initially thought, okay, he's out in the exercise yard, and then there's one shot where they show him from above, and he's in this tiny little dirt strip in between the exterior fence and the exercise yard.
Yeah, because he's not allowed in, like, with the rest of them, and so I guess he's in, like, a solitary...
It just looks like,
yard?
you know, when you've got, like, an alley sort of between the fence and a building that you like, cut through, so they've just sort of chucked him in there. And it seems a little bit random for us to, you know, watch this guy eating his apples in the dirt strip. And there is a moment where he drops the apple, and because he's finished eating it, and Vaughn tells him not to litter. So Mitchell complies, bends down, picks up the apple, and he gets his cuffs and his shackles put back on him, and they head back into the prison. And as they are heading in, Eyes is also scanned in, or buzzed in. I think there's a bunch of new prisoners coming in, either from the exercise yard or from outside. I don't know where they've come from, but there's like a line of prisoners coming in between two guards, and they're entering in the opposite direction from Vaughn and Mitchell.
Yeah, so they're passing by them, and while they're passing by, Mitchell and one of the guys from the group, like, lock eyes, and then the other, like, the inmate that's not Mitchell pulls a shiv out of his waistband, and, like, I hadn't seen this episode for ages, and I initially thought that he was going to stab Mitchell.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
I think that's the idea.
And that's definitely the direction that they're trying to, like, do it, because they're making eyes at each other, and then...
There's a misdirect where you think that Dom is about to attack Mitchell, but instead he veers off at the last second and goes for Vaughn. And then it's just full-on riot. Everybody's stabbing everybody. Mitchell grabs another inmate and starts to garrote him with his shackles, which, you know, kudos to him for making use of what he's got.
Yeah. But yeah, shit's on. Like, there's blood going
everywhere. It's a full-on brawl,
yeah.
Yes. And then we get an interesting 911 call, because the sound wave that comes on the screen is yellow, which we've never seen before.
Yeah, I was confused at first. I'm like, oh, what is this?
So is Josh, because he picks up the phone and he's like, is this a drill? And Eyes is like, fuck, this is not a drill. And gives out a full security code, including what the colour of the day is, which happens to be yellow, which apparently matches whatever Josh has got in his system.
Yeah, interesting security precaution.
The code I can understand. The colour of the day, I mean, would they actually change it every single day?
It might be an automatic change.
Yeah, the code they'd change. Yeah, they would have to change them all, I guess.
I'm just fascinated by the logistics of this, that there is like a program somewhere in the 911 system where they have to pull it up, and there is a code there.
Yeah, but and like, why would they need it? Because if he's calling him directly from the security pod thing.
I mean, I guess it's in case an inmate goes in Because, like, you know, you could just call 911 and be like, oh, yeah, we totally need someone here.
Yeah, but that's assuming it's an open phone line that you can call from anywhere. Like, if it's a direct thing from the prison to 911 Metro, whatever that is.
I will say I did not question the need for a code. I just thought it was cool. And then I'm like, how would that work logistically with the code? But I did not question that there would be a need for a code.
In any case, Eyes is very comprehensive in his situation report. So the 118 have been dispatched naturally. Josh has done his job and sent them.
Yes, because not only is there a riot, there is a fire. So the 118 have not been dispatched to deal with the riot. They have been dispatched to deal with the fire. Most notably because the fire is in a part of the prison building and where the smoke is getting pushed through the HVAC system throughout the entire prison. So everyone's getting smoked out, which is probably not a good thing.
This whole scene is so well done. Like, it's very tense. There's just a lot going on everywhere because there's the riot and then there's the, you know, they're trying to get through to find out where the fire is, and then they have to, you know, turn off this, whatever the vent system is that's pulling the smoke through.
And they've got armed guards with them as well. And
yeah, it's just very well done.
Yeah, so 118 get there. Garcia is briefing Bobby. He reports that he managed to get out the smaller fire, but the biggest one is still building in the HVAC corridor, and so that the air conditioning is what's pumping the smoke through. And that because they've only got 40% of the riot contained, he's going to send them in with 4 armed guards and promises that he will get them in and out safely. All they have to do is take care of the fire.
Poor Ravi looks absolutely terrified. This is like...
He really does.
This is a lot to have to deal with when you're just a probie.
Like, last week, Buck's just like, you have graduated from probie, and Ravi's like, no, I'm very much still a probie. I have been here for 3 weeks. I am
at this point
2
he's
apples
like,
tall.
Can I please go back and be like man behind and roll hoses and clean and make coffee?
Yeah, just leave me behind. That would be fine. I don't want to go to the prison and deal with a riot. But they spend some time dealing with the fire, but they eventually do manage to get it out.
Yes, they did. They got to the HVAC corridor. They managed to get the HVAC system turned off.
They get Ravi to go find the kill switch to the like aircon as well.
Yeah,
which is important for later.
Which is like, Ravi, try and find the kill switch if you can, and he takes like 3 steps forward.
Yeah, he's like, there it is.
Massive red lever on the wall.
Yeah, it's like a red lever with like neon signs and arrows that are
Bobby's like,
kill switch.
Let us know when you've done it. And he's like, okay, it's done. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So they get the fire put out. So they try. The next step is they then need to leave the prison, but unfortunately, the riot has escalated, and so those 4 guards that had been promised to Bobby are being redirected, and they're left with 1 armed guard. Apparently, Wilkinson can handle it. Wilkinson does not look like he can handle it. The look that he gives everybody is like, what the fuck you mean I can handle it? Bobby's also like, what the fuck do you mean Wilkinson can handle it? Nobody looks confident that Wilkinson can get the 118 out safely.
Yeah. But they do head off. But they hear some, like, someone breathing in the room, and they find 2 people lying on the floor, injured.
One of them is in the blue jeans and the blue scrub top. One of them is in all white. And unfortunately, nobody has learned their lesson from Home and Away, because Wilkinson takes one look at the body of the person that's dressed in the all-white outfit and gone, holy shit, that's Mitchell.
Also, can we stop putting Mark Pellegrino in white?
I mean, in Wilkinson's defense, the guy's face is fucked up. Covered in blood, covered in scratches. They're both kind of sandy, blonde. But yeah. So he identified...
The generic white man, I wouldn't
it's
have
not
noticed
Mitchell
either.
It's not Mitchell, but they are treating it as Mitchell. So he has been stabbed, and the other guy has a crushed trachea. And Wilkinson is like, okay, fuck them. We're just going to leave them. Let's get you guys out of here, because he literally calls them scumbags.
Yeah, literally just goes, they're scumbags, leave them here. It's like, wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But Bobby's a little bit more caring at this point. He's going to lose that later on in the episode, but right now he cares about them. Like, well, we're not going to leave them here. We're just going to pick them up and we're going to drag them out of the prison. So Buck and Eddie have got the guy in white. No, Buck and Eddie have got the guy in blue. And Hen and Ravi and Bobby have got the guy in white.
Meanwhile, Eyes is panicking because they're basically losing control of the whole place.
Yes, and he can't do anything about it. He's just sitting in his little pod, watching all the shit go down.
Yep. So they trying to get Eyes to buzz them out of the area. I guess they must lock down each individual area, and whoever's in the security pod has to buzz everyone through all the doors.
Yes.
But the guy in white starts having a seizure. The guy who was injured, like the guy who got stabbed, he starts like flailing around like he's having a seizure. So he tells Buck and Eddie to hurry up with the other guy, take him out, and we will. I missed out what actually happened here. How did they get separated like this?
So you had Buck and Eddie had the guy in the blue inmate uniform, and Hen and Ravi had the guy in white. The guy in white starts seizing, so Hen wants to put him down so she can assess him and treat them. But they're in the main corridor at this point, so Bobby's like, there's no point all of us being sitting ducks. Buck, Eddie, you are closest to the door. Your guy can barely breathe. Get him out, get into the ambulance, get treatment started for him, and then we will be right behind you. And despite Buck and Eddie thinking that's the worst idea in the world, they don't want to leave their captain and their team behind. He orders them out, so out they go.
Yeah, and apparently protocol says that they have to have 2 guards with them. And so Eyes calls on the radio for an ambulance escort for a prisoner who's being transported to the local ER. And so we get a voice over the radio going, Vaughan here, me and Mahoney are on the way. So Wilkinson gets Buck and Eddie out the door, tells them not to leave without the escort, and just goes.
And then we do see 2 guards approaching the ambulance. One of them climbs into the back with the prisoner, one of them climbs into the front next to Buck, who's driving. Meanwhile, Eyes is telling the 118 that, who are still in the corridor, still assessing the stabbing victim in white, that they need to move because the corridor is about to become inundated with rioting inmates. So he tells them to backtrack to the infirmary. So while we see the ambulance being allowed to leave the prison, so Eyes radios through to the tower guards to open the gate to let the ambulance out. Bobby, Ravi, and Hen are dragging their victim to the infirmary where the doctor lets them in.
Because he's like barricaded. He's like locked the door.
He has locked the door for good reason, because as soon as the 118 get through and the doctor tries to close the door, the other inmates try to get into the infirmary. And so Bobby rushes over to help the doctor close the door, which he does, but on the doctor's hand.
Yeah, ouch.
Like, full-on slams the door while the doc has still got his fingers sort of curled around the frame, the edge of the door.
He's just a doctor. Why would he need his hands? It's fine.
It's not like he has to do surgery at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah, should be fine.
Bobby's like, oh, sorry, dude. He actually literally says sorry.
Yeah. Just like, sorry. Like, sorry, doc, you're okay? And the doctor's like, you just broke my motherfucking hand. But no, that's fine. There is a bigger, more important issue, because he identifies the victim that they've just dragged in and put on his hospital bed as not Mitchell, but as Freddie Vaughan, one of the guards. And everybody suddenly realizes that if this is Freddie Vaughan, and
where are the prisoners?
He's not an inmate, where are the inmates?
Have one guess where the inmates are.
And that's when we cut back
to the ambulance.
The ambulance, where Bobby is freaking out over the radio, asking for Buck and Eddie to come in, to get on the radio and let them know that he's okay. But when Buck goes to reach for said radio, the prison guard who had climbed into the shotgun seat pulls out, not a shotgun, that would have been very ironic, but pulls out a gun, points it at Buck, and shakes his head, like, no, you're not getting on the radio. Like, oh dear. He then orders Buck to switch off the lights and sirens so that the ambulance doesn't attract any more attention. And that's when Eddie realizes that something's gone on. Because the lights and sirens switch off, and he's immediately head up looking around like, Buck, why the fuck did you turn everything off? And then he sees that the guard who's sitting in the back with him also has a gun. Yeah. And he's got like a ball cap pulled down over his face, and he very slowly like takes the hat off, which is entirely for the audience, because Eddie has no idea who this guy is. He's never seen him before. The face revealed, it means nothing to him, but it means something to the audience because we suddenly realize that Mitchell is the one that's now in the ambulance.
And the absolute, like, it's not until a bit later when they're all standing there together, but the cognitive dissonance here is, like, real. Like, why is he there with my Eddie and my Buck? This is wrong. This is so wrong. But anyway,
the closing line for the scene before we hit commercial is, I can't thank you boys enough. I have waited 18 years to get the hell out of that place. Dun, dun, dun.
Yep.
So yes, like discussion, or the first hint of his background, we know that he's been in there for 18 years. So at the moment we know that he was in solitary confinement and that he has been in there for 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we come back from commercial. Buck has pulled the ambulance over onto the side of the road. Everybody is out of the ambulance, and Dom starts, which is the other inmate that's tagged along. He starts searching Buck and Eddie. If looks could kill, Eddie would be able to kill everybody within a 5-mile radius with the glare that he is giving everyone.
Yeah, filthy look.
He also looks very good in this episode. The glare is working. It's working for me. The hair and the glare and the... Yeah.
Well, he's just so fed up with the whole thing. It's like, what the fuck now? Like, come on, I'm just trying to save this guy's life. Do we really have to do this? That's kind of the energy that he's bringing to the whole thing.
Eddie is just sassy this entire episode.
He's so fucking sassy.
He does not care at all. I'm like, who shat in his cereal this morning?
I love it. I'm here for sassy Eddie. So we do thank Eddie because we do get a little bit of exposition or flashback from him because while Dom is searching him and Buck, Eddie has like locked his attention on Mitchell and is like, I'm guessing the patient that's in the ambulance currently fighting for breath, that your handiwork. And we get the flashback and we realise that little moment that we talked about earlier where Mitchell was in his tiny little dirt exercise yard adjacent to the main yard, and he drops his apple and he gets told off for littering and he picks it up. That was intentional because when he dropped his apple, he had a knife buried in the dirt, or someone had planted a knife for him. So he dropped the apple, which gave him an excuse to bend down and pick up the knife, which enabled him to go to participate.
Stabby.
Do the stabby. And then we get a little bit of him and Dom dragging Vaughn and one of the inmates away and like swapping guard uniforms and putting the guards in their inmate outfits and
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. We know what happened.
But where did that knife come from?
Yeah. Because if Dom was in solitary... No, sorry. If Mitchell was in solitary, how did he coordinate this with anybody?
Yeah, I was wondering that. How did he get this other guy on board with it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea how any of this... Like, did they just wink at each other certain ways in the hall every week? Like, every day?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm guessing he wasn't in solitary forever. Like, he at some point he must have mixed with the others, but... Yeah, it just seems like a strange...
the hows of the story are just do not add up, but I'm going to be honest, I think I was having, apart from Mark Pellegrino, I was having a good time in this episode and I didn't actually care.
No.
Yeah, it was just, I'm like, where did the knife come from? Then he doesn't even use the knife. Like, I don't know. Anyway.
Yeah. I was more focused on the fact that we cut back to Dom searching Buck and Eddie, and there's an error. It's either an error in the editing or it's an error in wardrobe, and I don't know which one it is. But we see Dom going to search Eddie to find his wallet and his phone and all of that jazz. But when we get a cut from behind Ryan, supposedly, the back of the turnout is Buckley. But when we cut back to Dom to see what he's pulled out of said turnout, he's quite clearly standing in front of Eddie. So it's either someone in the editing suite fucked up and they did a behind shot behind Oliver and they accidentally put it in the wrong spot in the scene, or at some point Ryan and Oliver had swapped turnouts.
Well, that's probably less likely.
But see, the thing is, I know that people have discussed this in the past, and I could have sworn that there was a photo of the two of them in the wrong turnouts. But I could not find it, so I'm going to go with...
Yeah, we could not find it this week, so we've given up and we've decided it's an editing mistake. But
yes.
It's still really funny that, like, of the thought that Eddie and Buck just swapped turnouts at one point and then, like, swapped them back again.
Well, I guess because they must be pretty similar kind of jackets. Like, it probably doesn't even matter. They're roughly the same size, I guess, at this point in the seasons.
Oh, at this point, because Oliver has not turned into the full brick shithouse that he is at the moment.
Yeah.
He's still sort of in his twink era. But yeah, so I was more distracted by trying to figure out what the hell was going on with the turnouts. Like Ella said, I'm assuming it's an editing mistake, because the editing in this is pretty shoddy at some points. But while I'm focused on that, the important part is that Mitchell now has Eddie's wallet, and he's going through it. Not like emotionally, he's literally going through Eddie's wallet.
Well, he's also going through it emotionally. But he pulls out a photo of Chris and says, This your kid? And Eddie just like gives him the filthiest of looks. And Mitchell's like, I'm guessing he lives with you at 4995 South Bedford Street.
And like, oh my God. So Eddie's just glaring, but Buck's just like, fuck you, don't touch my kid! And like, fully starts charging towards Mitchell. And Dom just like smacks him with his gun.
Yep.
But yeah, like Eddie's just smouldering and Buck's like, my child!
It is hilarious.
It is such a buddy episode.
And that's the other thing that I keep forgetting about this episode is
such
like,
a buddy episode.
The riot and the actual emergencies are really good. They're really well written. They're really well done. The buddiness of this episode is epic. I just keep remembering Mark fucking Pellegrino, and it ruins it for everything.
Yeah.
So you've got Eddie smouldering in anger. You've now got Buck nursing a fucking head wound because his like scalp has been split open from the butt.
His eye just healed from Chim punching him.
I'm actually
the same side.
I'm actually really surprised that they didn't have Dom hit him like in the eye, because it's right up on his temple. It's right up in his hairline, not sort of in his eye.
Poor Buck, he's really getting
Eddie just pulls out
smacked
ice
in the
again and
face a
hands
lot
it to
at the
him.
moment.
Ice goes on the eye, bud.
Ice goes on the eye, bud.
So yeah, so now we've got not only does Mitchell have Eddie and Buck as hostages, but there's also the threat that you do what I want you to do, or I'm going to hunt down your child and do something unspeakable to them. As a way, which I think he was just assuming would keep Eddie in line. I don't think he realised that that's an incredibly effective method for keeping Buck in line too.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I didn't realise I'd kidnapped a married couple. My bad.
Wait, whose kid is this?
Yeah, why? Did you have a photo of his kid in your wallet?
Wait.
Or... he looks a lot like Buck, but he was in Eddie's wallet. I'm so confused.
All right, we get a little bit more sort of exposition, I guess, from the LAPD, because Elaine and Athena are on the case. I'm like, oh no, not these two again.
Angela needs to have her screen time.
Oh yeah, that's fine. I mean, it is her husband involved in this whole thing, so okay. But so they get the lowdown on what's happening. They're not sure if the riot was a cover for the escape or the escapees seized on the opportunity. They've worked out that Buck and Eddie are in trouble in one area, and then the rest of the 118 are still inside the prison. So we go back to
inside the prison.
Bobby and the gang, who is just Hen and Ravi. Almost forgot Ravi.
Yeah, poor Ravi's also there.
Well,
he still looks terrified.
Ravi is like huddled by the door. Just, I don't know if he's like, I'm going to just stand here and keep watch, or he's just petrified and just needs to keep eyes on what's going on outside to keep and make sure danger is not approaching. But yeah, he's not having a good time.
Nope.
Not at all.
Bobby's also going through it a little bit. Because Hen and the doctor are talking about Vaughn and about his injuries. He's losing a lot of blood. And the doctor, being the kind, compassionate man that he is, says that they should probably give him something for the pain. And Bobby's like, no. Actually,
he
I
doesn't
need you to do the
morphine.
opposite. I need you to wake him up.
Yeah, I need to torture him a little bit first.
Yeah.
And the doctor's
Suddenly
like, what?
he's on board. No pain relief for this man.
I mean, it's not
I need to ask him questions.
It's not no pain relief. It's like delay the pain relief. But it very much comes off of, you're not going to sedate him. I need to torture him by questioning him first. And the doc's like, what the hell? And Bobby's like, I need info. I need to know how to get in. I need to know how to get out. I need keys.
Yeah, but the only way that we're going to get out of this situation is if we torture this man first.
Yes.
Basically,
because
not in as many words, but yeah.
Because he's trying to explain to the doc, like the doctor is going, we're very safe. There are only 3 keys to get into the infirmary. One of them is in the security pod with eyes. It's fine. Nobody is getting in here without the keys. And Bobby's like, oh, the security pod that's currently having a bench being rammed into it to break the glass.
It cracked me up because Bobby's like, the doc's like, the security pod, why? Bobby's like, listen. And there's literally just banging. He's like, you hear that? That's them breaking into the security pod. It's like, how do you know? It could be anything banging. I mean, he's right, but still.
I mean, he is
like,
correct.
How do you know?
He doesn't have the security feeds and...
And just to reinforce that, we then get eyes on the radio going, fuck, I need reinforcements. They're trying to break in. And the doc is still, doubting. He's like, there is no way they're going to get into that security pod. And Bobby is like, I have been a firefighter for nearly 3 decades. Damn. And he says, and there is not a lot of
when he
room
said
anywhere.
that, I'm like, how old is Bobby in this episode? If he started
he's like 50, so
when he was 20, then yeah, I guess it makes sense.
Yeah.
But
he's got to be age appropriate for Athena, so yeah, 50s. Basically, there is not a locked room anywhere that the right tools and enough time can't break open. So please wake Freddy up.
Poor Freddy.
Then we get this stupid scene, which I think was just to justify Brian Safi's time on set. Which was, long story short, Mitchell and Dom have ripped the transponder out of the ambulance, so CAD can't track the ambulance anymore. They don't know where it is.
But they are... they're driving along, and the guy in the ambulance is having a time. He's, like, starting to choke, and blood is, like, welling up in his mouth. Ugh. So Eddie's trying to fix him, like, you know, trying to help him a little bit. And Mitchell is suddenly worried that he's going to die. And he's like, what, you care about the guy you almost beat to death? And, yeah.
The response is a little creepy.
If I wanted this guy dead, he'd be dead.
Yeah.
And I kept him alive. Now you have to keep him alive. It's like, why do you need him alive?
I crushed his trachea just enough.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, did we find out why they said why he was in prison? Like, wasn't it like a triple homicide or something? Like, he's killed people before.
Well, funnily enough, we're about to go back to the LAPD where Elaine is going to read through his file for us.
There you go. I knew they said it at some point.
So, yes, he has been on death row for 18 years for a triple homicide, which was just the latest in a very long line of offences dating back from a sealed juvie record. Dom's a small-time crook, home invasion from Milwaukee. He's not important. Mitchell is the important one.
Yeah, it makes you wonder why the other guy agreed to help get him to the hospital and didn't just, like, take off as soon as they got out of the prison. You know. But he does his part.
He does play his part. Yeah, there is no world building with this. There's no
we don't find out anything about him at all. Nope. Except that he got...
This is what happens, and we're just supposed to sit here and go, yes, this is what happens. I'm like, okay.
So, like, Athena and Maynard...
Yes.
What is her actual name? Elaine
Maynard. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It feels weird calling her Maynard when we're calling Athena by her first name. They're looking up basically to work out if they can work out where they're going, because they can't track the ambulance. So they don't have any connections in the area, but they apparently Mitchell had started to get in touch with his ex-wife from like 18 years ago, and so they decide to go and talk to her or get her into protection, because they think that he would go through all this trouble just to settle an old score.
Yes. So they roll up, lights and sirens blaring, which might not be the best thing if Mitchell was actually in the house. He's not, so that's fine. They roll up at Savannah's house. She's not there. But the neighbour very kindly has Savannah's phone number and gives it to the police.
And knows all about her whereabouts? Yeah, it's kind of weird.
And I'm looking at this neighbour going,
we need to move things along, it's fine.
Why? Yes, I know, it's exposition neighbour. But my neighbours would not have my phone number or know how to get in contact with me or know where I am. So, of all of the things in this episode that I don't believe that is really real, this is one of the things that I just went, wait, hang on. I believed the knife in the dirt. I did not believe this. But Athena gets in touch with Savannah, and the implication is that they are going to go to her to put her into protective custody. Ravi would like to go into protective custody too, because he's still freaking out in the infirmary.
Oh, poor Ravi.
And it doesn't make it any better than the fact that the doctor has followed Bobby's orders and has woken up Vaughn, and he is now screaming in pain, because he must be in quite a bit of pain right now.
I mean, he has been gut stabbed, like...
Yes. So he's screaming, and Bobby's like, hi, I'm so sorry about this, but we're stuck in here with the rioting prisoners, and we need you to help us get out.
Yeah, and poor Vaughn, he can barely speak because he's in so much pain, and he barely even says anything, and they're just like, you know, assuming what he's saying, because all he says is that and they're like, the security pod?
Yeah,
It's like,
I think...
Maybe he was saying something else about being in pain, or I don't know.
Well, you know how we keep talking about, like, Bobby's captain hat allows him to, like, look at somebody and diagnose them? I feel like he's like moved the hat sideways.
Psychic link.
Yeah, he's now like moved the hat and he's connected he's got a psychic connection with Vaughn through the power of the captain's hat. And so he's able to figure out what Vaughn is saying. Because I have no idea how he got from gas to tear gas to the dentist office. I didn't even know there was a dentist's office in the prison. I mean, it makes sense that there is one, but...
Yeah. But yeah, that was quite a leap.
Yes, he should put on a safety harness before he does that, or, get a hose and wrap it around his waist.
A fire hose, that would be fine.
Yes.
But they were... Somehow they get to the fact that they need to put tear gas through the air conditioning system.
Which Ravi's like, that sounds like a really bad idea. That sounds like it's just going to piss everybody off.
And Bobby's like, it's just so crazy it might work.
Well, the backup plan is let's put some nitrous oxide, like laughing gas, through the vent instead. Bobby's like, okay, cool. I will go to the HVAC, I will turn it on, then I will go to the dentist office, and I will get the laughing gas, and I will feed it through the vent. Which... Hen rightly points out is a stupid plan because that's Bobby running around the prison doing everything. They should divide and conquer. She will go and turn on the HVAC and Bobby can go get the gas. Which Bobby says that's an even stupider plan because I broke the doctor's hand so he can't actually do anything, so we need you as the paramedic/med student to stay in the infirmary and do the medical shit. And Ravi's following this whole conversation and going, oh, shit. All right. I will go and turn the HVAC on because at least I know where the damn lever is.
It's like, I found it once. I can find it again.
I'm like, no, Ravi, you don't have to be a hero. You're only a baby.
And the doc does not help by saying, you're going to be a target to these rioting prisoners. And Ravi's like, oh, shit, I didn't think of that. So Bobby's like, cool, we'll put him in a disguise. What if he doesn't look like a firefighter?
They're still having... I don't know what the prisoners are doing. They're running around like headless chickens.
They're just fucking shit up. Just...
But they're not even...
Yeah, pretty much.
Destroying anything. They're just running in and out of the corridors. Like, I don't know.
They set some fires, but those fires have been put out. But yeah, they're pretty much just breaking shit. Some of them look like they have tried to escape because we do see at some point some prisoners like racing out into sort of the outside. I don't think they're going to get through the gates, but at least they got out of the main building. Surprisingly, we don't see a lot of bodies though. So they're breaking shit, but they're not killing people. Maybe it's the wrong time slot for that. And the wrong network.
They've already had some stabbings, but no one's actually dead yet.
Yeah, because you can, in the security footage, you can still see that there are guards, like, running around after them. Like, why haven't you guys turned on the guards? But anyway, while all that is happening, the doctor and Hen are having a little bit of a conversation as Hen is patching up the doctor's hand, including a dad joke, like a medical dad joke, which I'm very proud of. I'm very happy they put that in.
I missed this in the thing. What did he say?
Yeah, but if anyone else who's missed it, Hen is telling the doctor that his hand is not actually broken, thank God, but he won't have normal range of motion for a few weeks. And the doctor says, but tell me, will I play the piano again? And the joke response is, yes, you'll be able to play the piano. And then the patient comes back and goes, oh, that's funny because I've never been able to play the piano before. Uh-huh. Hen's just done with this whole situation. She's heard that joke. She's not playing. She just looks at the doctor and goes, could you play the piano before? And Doc's like, damn it. Yes, terrible, Autumn. But funny.
Autumn's equally as our age.
But it does make Hen think of Chimney, because it would be the kind of joke that he would make. And so we get a little bit of exposition about Hen being in medical school, because, oh my god, somebody in the writing room remembered that Hen was going to medical school.
Yeah, someone remembered.
Because the doctor thinks that Hen's level of medical expertise is just the standard for LA paramedics. And Hen says, well, actually, I was like studying to become a doctor. I'm in second year of med school.
Yeah, it was?
Yes, thank you. I picked up on that too, and I'm like, were you not going to classes? Like, were you dropping out of med school? Were you a med school dropout?
Yeah, I think it's just the way that she says it is. I was looking at heading into your line of work rather than I am, but it still means basically the same thing.
I know, but it's just that, we're 6 episodes in.
It's weird.
So far this season.
It's weirdly said. Like, she could have just said, yeah, I'm actually, like, I'm also in med school. Because she's like, oh, I was looking at heading into your line of work. And he immediately goes, oh, medical school? What year? And it's like, she didn't, like, she could have just been looking. How do you know she's in med school? It's a very strange exchange.
I just think it's because we've mentioned in previous episodes this season that we haven't seen any mention of Hen going to med school this season. So I just assumed that she dropped out. So I was wondering whether this was going to be the confirmation that she dropped out. But no, apparently she hasn't.
Yeah, we just haven't seen her doing it. She's been doing it off camera.
Yes. But before we can get a full explanation of Hen's experience in the second year of med school, Vaughn plummets and they need to do surgery, which the doc can't do because his hand's all fucked up. Thank you, Bobby. So Hen's going to have to do it for him.
Yeah, she's like, but I'm not a doctor. And the doctor says, he doesn't need you to be a doctor. He needs you to be my hands.
He just needs you to have hands.
And I'm watching this scene going, woman, you have performed surgery in the back of moving ambulances. Like, why?
Literally, why are you scared now?
You held onto a guy's artery for like an hour until he could get into actual surgery. I'm sure you'll be fine. And
now you're actually you're in a stable, non-moving medical room being supervised by an actual doctor. Now you don't want to do anything?
Yeah, you got this.
Although I wonder if it's maybe because she's in medical school and she now realizes how badly she could fuck up everything that she's doing, that she's a little bit more hesitant to just, stick her hand in somebody's chest cavity.
Maybe.
Speaking of doing shit in ambulances, we're going to go back to the ambulance where Eddie is now having to intubate the crushed trachea victim because he is struggling to breathe because of said crushed trachea.
He gets Buck to pass him a tube. Buck is he's just eyeing Mitchell while he's doing it because he's still pointing the gun at them. So he's doesn't want to make any sudden moves. And they see this, Dom turns around and says that they're almost there. And then Buck realizes that they're at a hospital. And he's like, wait, we're going to a hospital?
We're actually going to a hospital?
Yeah, and Mitchell's sort of going, well, you're worried about this guy, right? We can take him into the emergency department, that's fine. So they do. They pull up at the emergency entrance and they get him out. And Mitchell's like, pretty boy stays with me. I'm like, I'm pretty boy?
I was watching that scene specifically to see how Buck and Eddie would react when Mitchell says, pretty boy stays with me, kid goes inside, to see if either of them reacted to somebody being called pretty boy. Neither of them blinked. And I was so disappointed.
Yeah.
I think I blinked more because
they're equally pretty.
I was so confused because I was I was half tuning out. Full disclosure, I was very tired while watching this episode. So I'm half falling asleep. And the other guy's name is Dom. And I heard Dom, you, and I thought he said you and the Dom, but he said Dom, you, and the kid. And so I'm like, what? And I actually had to go back because I was like, he's not, Buck is not what I would call a Dom. In his relationship, Taylor is the Dom here. Let's be real. And I was like, oh, the guy's name is Dom. Right, okay, that makes way more sense. I was so confused for a moment there.
Too much fan fiction for you. Put the fish down.
Yeah.
So apparently Eddie is pretty boy and Buck is the kid.
Yeah.
So Eddie is going to stay with Mitchell in the ambulance. Dom and Buck are going to take the victim into the emergency room. And yes, I really did want to make a David Tennant joke, but unfortunately nobody reacted to being called pretty. Maybe they're just like, yes, Eddie has fully realised that he is pretty, and Buck agrees. So he would just...
So they just automatically assumed who they were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So Buck is like, I don't want to leave Eddie. I don't want to go into the hospital with Dom. I don't know what you're planning. And Mitchell's like, you know what? Go, or I'll shoot Eddie. Or better yet, no, go or I'll shoot you. Better yet, I'll shoot Eddie, and then I will find his kid and I will shoot him too. And Eddie is immediately like, Buck, go.
Yeah, Buck, get the fuck out of here.
But it's just like one word, it's just like, Buck. And Buck's immediately like out of the ambulance.
Who's the Dom now?
Right? This is what I'm saying. Like,
but they wheel the gurney into the ER and there's no one around. It's just like completely empty.
It's like they walk in and it's so quiet, and I'm like, this is really weird. And you can see that Buck can see that it's really weird. Dom probably hasn't been in emergency rooms enough to realise how weird it is that an ER is that quiet. But then they get through the doors to the actual ward and it's empty. There's no nurses, there's no patients, the beds are empty. And that's when they realise that something is seriously wrong. And that's when they get jumped by LAPD. Including Buck.
Both of them. Yeah.
Including poor Buck, yeah.
He's thrown to the floor. He's like, stop, I'm an LAFD. And they're like, yeah, sure.
Even as he's like, I'm with the 118, I'm Evan Buckley. And they're like, yeah, we don't care. And they're snapping handcuffs on him. And it's only when Athena comes running in and she's like, Buck, what the fuck are you doing here? Let him go. He's one of the good. This one's good. So Buck gets like, oh, sorry about that, as he gets uncuffed. Nobody is very sorry in this episode.
No, but they, where's Mitchell kind of thing, Athena needs to know. But he's still in the ambulance with Eddie, and Buck kind of looks like this is really, really bad news that the LAPD have shown up because it's all going to go downhill really quick. So the LAPD pull up their cars all around the ambulance, so they sort of box it in so it can't go anywhere. They call out that they've got him surrounded, put your weapons down, come out.
Mitchell's panicking. He's like, how did they find me so fast? Eddie's just sitting there going, wasn't part of your plan, huh? Cool as a
Eddie
cucumber.
does not care. Like, he has, oh my god, he does not care.
He does not give a fuck.
He's just had enough of this whole thing. It's like, you are a fucking idiot.
Yeah, Eddie just has no fucks to give. Does not care. Buck cares. Buck cares a whole lot.
Buck cares so much.
Because Athena is telling him that, like, the TAC team have got a plan to take the ambulance, and Eddie's like, Buck is like, no, you can't take the ambulance, because if you take the ambulance, he's going to shoot Eddie. There's got to be a better way that does not involve Eddie getting shot.
He's so worried.
He's so worried.
So Athena explains that not only did they know that Mitchell was coming to this hospital, but they knew why he was coming to this hospital, because he came to see his son. And then we cut to the ambulance where Mitchell has started his sob story about his son, and Eddie, like, whatever fucks that he had before, which were very, very few, he's lost all of them. He's so unimpressed as Mitchell is like sniffing and sniveling about his son, who has congenital heart failure, and is here at that very hospital waiting for a heart transplant.
Actually, Eddie might have been like extremely unimpressed with this whole thing, but I was like, quite, like, the twist was good. I was like, oh, And then I remembered that it was Mike Pellegrino. I'm like, why are you making me feel sorry for this guy?
Yeah, so
I don't want to.
The twist is, because Eddie assumes that Mitchell has come to the hospital, that he's going to shoot his way through and force his kid to get bumped to the top of the heart transplant list. The twist is instead that Mitchell actually wants to donate his heart to his kid. And that's the twist. And then at that point, we also see Eddie switch. Suddenly he has a lot of fucks to give. And at this point, like, Ellen has, and most of the other audience is probably like, oh, I'm actually really sympathetic to Mitchell now. I want to see this happily ending. And I'm still sitting here going, I don't give a fuck, it's Mark Pellegrino.
No, I don't really get, like, I don't think this guy should be allowed to give his, like, this is not the way to go about this, but at the same time, I'm like,
weird because he's never met this child. It's weird. The whole thing's so weird.
But this is also why, when they were splitting up Pretty Boy and the kid, that they kept Pretty Boy in the ambulance, because we're now going to have the two fathers with sons in the ambulance together.
Yeah.
Because we're going to play off Eddie's desire and willingness to do anything for his son to tug on the heartstrings from Mitchell.
Yep.
But before we're going to do that, we're going to torture Ravi a little bit more.
Oh, poor Ravi. Just, like, he's shuffling. Okay, so he's got
Ravi.
a prisoner outfit on. Like, he's got the guy. He's got Vaughn's bloody kind of shirt on.
They've put him in Mitchell's / Vaughn's prison outfit, complete with bloodstains.
And he's walking along the hallway, and he looks so nervous, and he just does not look like a prisoner who is rioting.
No.
At all.
There's so much blood, but no wounds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking, what he was going to do, but the prisoners spot him.
Yes, the prisoners spot him, and they don't know who he is. Like, they've never seen him before. They don't think they know him. And of course they don't know him.
Yeah, because he's a firefighter, not an inmate.
And he's also walking around like he's about to get kicked. It's like...
Literally. He's expecting Buck to jump out from around a corner with a chainsaw.
But he doesn't... Like, when they call out to him and say, get back here, I'm talking to you, and he's just like, no. And he just keeps going.
He just keeps walking and nothing happens from that.
Yeah, they don't follow him.
I expected him to, have this, intense showdown with it, but no, he just keeps walking and they're like, okay.
Or at least, he shakes his head and keeps walking, and they start racing after him, and he has to run through the door and slam it shut and then race over, and, But we never see any of that. He just walks away, and the prisoners are just like, the booze that we managed to find is apparently more important than chasing the brown kid in the prison whites. So
yeah.
So while that's happening, Bobby has found the dentist office, and he MacGyvers all of the nitrous tanks to one tube, and then gaffer tapes the tube into the ceiling vent.
It's not just gaffer taping it in there. He's aligned it up on the wall and around the doors and the windows with tape.
Because he's probably thinking, it's a trip hazard, so he's got to make sure that it's, OH&S.
Yeah.
We don't have time for this. We're trying to escape the prison. You don't have time to make it all pretty.
Where did he get the gaffer tape?
Well, I guess it must have been in the dentist's office. Maybe he used it for fixing teeth. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
He's like, yeah, your jaw needs wiring shut, but we can't give you wires because they're a hazard, so I'm just going to
we're just going to tape it shut. Oh, my God.
So while Ravi is doing a terrible job of impersonating a prisoner, and Bobby is...
Hey, Ravi is doing his best.
He is doing his best. And Bobby's doing home repairs in the dentist office. Hen is performing surgery and does very well. That's pretty much all we need to know about that scene.
Yeah. She has, like, real supplies. It's not even with dental floss or anything.
Yes. Ravi gets the HVAC on, which starts pumping the laughing gas through the prison. So the 118s start putting on variety of breathing equipment, whether it's like their actual scuba gear or whether it's just one of those handheld O2 masks with a tiny little tank. And it appears to have worked because all of the inmates that Bobby passes as he makes his way back to the infirmary are as high as kites.
Yeah, they're like holding onto the wall, giggling.
Yeah, they're like holding onto each other. I mean, this nitrous, like, it makes you feel like high, like it makes you feel happy and stuff, but it doesn't always make you laugh. Like, it's called laughing gas, but it's not always, that's not always the reaction that people have, but in this case they all do. Like, just fall. They're basically rolling on the floor laughing.
Because how else would you know that it's laughing gas if nobody's laughing?
Yeah. Jeez, Ellen.
And he's got a lot of canisters there, but would they really fill up the hallways enough?
The whole prison, yeah.
Can I just point out for once that it's not me pulling the episode apart?
It's just weird.
Bex is just sitting there the whole time like, get back to Sassy Eddie, and we're just like, what? How
like,
is this?
I hate Mark Pellegrino, but I'm enjoying the fuck out of the rest of this episode. Like, Sassy Eddie, I've got my brain switched off, so I'm just focused on him and his hair, and I'm good to go. I don't need to worry about everything
good
else.
Again. He's got
good hair in this episode. Yeah.
Yes.
He does, yeah.
So yeah, the prisoners are loopy and laughing, and the 118 are able to leave the prison safely.
Stroll out the front door.
Yeah.
They're not all safe yet, though. Somehow they actually get, like, Mitchell's ex to the hospital.
Was she already at the hospital?
I don't know.
I don't know where she was.
Maybe she was there with her son because he was already there.
Yeah,
right?
I just assumed she was already there.
Because I'm going to assume they're down in, like, the emergency department, sort of down on the first floor, and she would have been up in ICU or, like, cardiac unit or something.
Because, like, they called...
Yeah.
They called her and they're like, where are you? And then that's how they, like, found which hospital they were going to be at, and that's how they managed to tackle Buck so quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, so I assumed she was already there.
Thank you. You connected all the dots in the episode that I just did not actually think about until now. Yeah. So Savannah is her name. She's, like, explaining that, you know, the last time she saw him, he was screaming he was going to kill her for betraying him, blah, blah, blah. But now, apparently, he's trying to save his son.
Yes, we get exposition Athena, who tells us that Mitchell has been waging a campaign to be executed so that he can donate his heart to Nolan. And
but death row prisoners do not get...
There's a massive plot gap here that, like, even Savannah's like, I don't know how he found out about his son because she didn't tell him. And then all of a sudden he's just like, oh, I want to save our kid. And she's like, how do you fucking know that this kid exists, let alone is dying?
Also, Eddie says that he's been watching him for years, but he's been in prison for the last 18 years. So how's he been...
it's fucking creepy.
How has he been able to watch the kid if he's literally been behind bars for the entirety of this kid's life?
Yeah.
Or did we find out later that his son had contacted him? Am I imagining things?
I think you're imagining that, but we'll get to that, I'm sure, towards the end. We have to have a little bit of a discussion about the ethics and morality of allowing prisoners to donate their organs and why the state of California does not allow it to happen.
I just, like, I'm with Buck, honestly. At this point, Buck's like, do we care? Can we just kill him? Like, why do we care here? Just shoot him and take his... I don't care. Like, either shoot him and take his heart or shoot him and don't take his heart. I don't care. Eddie's in the hospital. Like, in the ambulance. Yes. Just fix it. And Athena's just like, oh, you know, it's a law. We can't just do this. And Buck's like, I just do something. I don't care. Just do something. And save Eddie.
Yes. And the very real... worry is that if LAPD and the SWAT team that are literally still standing holding their guns pointed at the ambulance I mean,
Yeah, they haven't moved.
why aren't their arms tired by this stage? That if
That's
they
what
do,
their training is for. They have very strong arms for holding up the gun.
the issue is if they do take the ambulance, Eddie could potentially get caught in the crossfire, which is what
Eddie does not care.
No, Eddie is actually worried about that because Mitchell is like
he is worried, but
pacing
it's
around
just so funny.
pacing around the ambulance trying to find something to do, and Eddie is just like, stop moving, because if the police see it's moving, they're going to think something's wrong and they will breach the ambulance. And Mitchell's like, so they're going to shoot me? And Eddie's like, they're going to fucking shoot me too. It's a small space. I don't want to get shot.
He's like, I'd rather
again.
not get caught in the crossfire. But it's not even like this. He's just like, space this small, not a lot of room for error.
Yeah.
Rather not get caught in the crossfire. Like, he is just so chill about this whole thing.
It's a legitimate concern.
Like, he's not like, oh, fuck, I'm going to leave. Like, he's like, oh, Buck's out, so Chris is looked after. It's fine. Doesn't even matter. Like, I'd rather not die, but, like, worse, like, it is what it is. Like, he's so sassy. It's so funny.
But he's also, like, sassing like a basically a psychopath who has a gun. Like, it's a bad idea. But he just doesn't care.
But yeah, Mitchell's basically just like, I'm trying to do one good thing here. And Eddie goes, you got bored in a cage and you wanted a way out. 1, supernatural.
Yeah, he was in a cage.
2, I'm all, like, we're going to discuss more about this later, I'm sure. But I'm 100% with Eddie with this. He got bored in a cage and he's like, yep, cool, I'm going to die anyway. Let's make myself a hero on the way out.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, I'm doing this for no, you're not.
Because then Eddie's next comment is, did Nolan tell you that he wanted you to do this? Is this what he wants?
Yeah, like, do you think this is a feel-good ending for him? Like, this is 100% because Mitchell's like, oh, well, I'm going to die anyway, so I'm going to go out a hero and save this kid who's dying, who I don't even fucking know.
Yes.
Because he's bored in a cage.
They do lose me slightly on that story, that particular point, in that he does not want Nolan to know that it's his heart. I feel like if they was really pushing that I want to go out a hero, he would want Nolan to know that it's his heart that he got, that he, like, his dad died to save him.
They're trying to make
only
it
after Eddie's yelled at him, though.
Yeah, well, they're trying to make everyone feel
like,
sorry for him by saying that he wanted to save his kid's life.
Yeah, he was doing full petitions and everything, and then he's just like, oh, but I don't want him to... Like, do you think that if you Google his name, it won't come up? Like... Yeah, so it's only after Eddie is just like, shut the fuck up. Like, this isn't what he wants. That he's just like, oh, okay, don't tell him then.
And yes, Eddie literally tells him to shut up, but not shut up so that, because I'm sick of talking to you, it's shut up so that I can help you. Although I don't know at this point what Eddie thinks he's helping do. Is he like, shut up?
I don't know what.
Shut up so I can help you get your heart to your kid, or shut up so that I can help you get out of this ambulance alive?
Yeah, literally. Eddie just wants him to shut up.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so then Bobby calls to let Athena know that he's out and fine. And Bobby's just like, oh yeah, everyone here's fine. Dropped off the injured guard at the hospital. How's Buck and Eddie? And Athena's like, oh yeah, your son's fine. Standing right here with him. Bobby's like, yeah, cool. What about his boyfriend? And Athena's just like,
about that.
Like,
So those two are exchanging looks. Bobby's still standing by the brick going, what about Eddie?
Yeah. Like, why'd you both get high-pitched and squeaky? This is really
why
weird.
isn't anybody saying anything? Where is Eddie?
Eddie's still yelling at Mitchell in the ambulance.
It's slightly more, he's slightly more locked in on the conversation. He's slightly more interested now.
Yeah, like he's turned in his attention.
Yep. Only to throw Taylor under the bus.
I know, poor he's just like, yeah, don't. Eddie's like, please, do not shoot me. Buck and I have a son, but Buck's dating this girl and she's a reporter. Shoot her instead.
No. Eddie's alternate plan is get out of the ambulance. My boyfriend Buck has a girlfriend who is a reporter. She can do a story and we can petition the state to allow you to donate your heart. At which point Mitchell goes, yeah, but I don't want anybody knowing that I'm doing this. And Eddie's like, oh, for fuck's sake. And I'm like, yeah, right there with you.
Yeah, it's with the not letting anyone know about it. It's like, didn't you think that when you broke out of prison and hijacked an ambulance that everyone is kind of going to know
exactly
what is happening here? But basically,
Eddie's literally rolling his eyes,
through.
and so am I.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Mitchell goes on, like, he starts to talk a little bit about it. We still don't really know much at the end. But basically, Mitchell says, like, when they sentenced me to death, the judge said I was the worst of the worst, and he was right. I was like my dad, who was like his dad. All of us in and out of prison our whole lives, like it was the family business.
To which Ellen had a very, very visceral reaction to.
It's like, don't say those
killing
words.
people, stabbing things, the family business. And then he's like, yeah, when I found out about Nolan, I was like, great, I'll meet him when he shows up in the cell next to me. And he's not like that, though. He's a good kid, nothing like... How do you know? How do
You've never met him.
How do you know? Like, is it because he turned 18 and didn't show up in prison that he's just like, oh, he's so good. Like, he hasn't even been to juvie. But how do you know?
Maybe he pays someone to, like,
his
keep an eye on him.
His mother doesn't even know you know that he was alive.
That's the only thing I can think of, is that he's got flying monkeys on the outside that are feeding him information. But again, if he's been in solitary for so long, how is he meeting these flying monkeys, and how are they getting him this information?
Yeah, like, did he get someone to track her because he was like, oh my god, you're going to regret this, and then they were like, oh, boss, she's actually pregnant, and keeps talking to herself about how you're the dad. So we know that you're the dad. And he's like, oh, great. Like, what? It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense, but let's move on anyway, because otherwise we're just going to
They are allowed contact with the outside world, though. Like, someone could have
Not when they're in solitary.
Yeah, but
maybe,
he might not have been in solitary for long. Like, maybe.
Look, the assumption that he's in solitary was because of the uniform, right? Maybe they literally just put him in a different uniform so that we would be able to tell him apart from everybody else, like, in the rest of the episode.
No, but that's why he had his, like, little walk thingy, because that's a solitary thing. They're not allowed to socialise with the other prisoners.
Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, maybe he had contacts
boy.
outside. Maybe there are still allowed visitors.
I don't know.
And
It doesn't matter. Somehow he has found...
Hang on, but he doesn't even...
Somehow Palpatine...
Yeah. Somehow he knows about his son.
I'm going back up to where they were reading his file. Elaine, where are you? Because they said something like... where was that? Tear gas... No, we're still looking for Savannah. There. No visitors, no pen pals.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So how the fuck is he getting this information? It doesn't matter.
He just knows telepathically.
Apparently.
It must be the demons. That's the only rational explanation.
It's the demons.
Maybe it was bunnies. Anyway. Sorry, theories, demons, bunnies. It made sense in my head.
Okay. Basically, Eddie talks
fan.
him.
But Eddie doesn't even talk that much to him. Like, Mitchell's talking to himself with Eddie, like, glaring at him in intervals. And then eventually Mitchell's like...
Okay. Eddie glares him into submission.
Yes, Eddie glares him into submission.
Basically, he just says, okay, now we're going to turn yourself in. You're going to turn yourself in. Yeah. We're going to go out there. Okay? And Mitchell's like,
no,
okay.
But Eddie doesn't even say that. Mitchell's just like, okay, I'm going to turn myself in now. I'm going to...
Yeah, so Mitchell does the whole, like, Eddie's like, oh, so you think saving him will redeem you? And Mitchell goes, no, but me dying and him living maybe makes the world a better place. And it's like, so all of a sudden, even after you, like, he was arrested on a triple homicide. He has a locked juvie record. Like, he's clearly not a good person. He's been in prison for 18 years. We just, like, he's just got better.
5 minutes with Eddie Diaz.
Like, yeah. Which is funny, because
I would also like 5 minutes with Eddie Diaz.
I mean, Buck did get worse first, but yeah. So Mitchell's like, let him open the door, let him know we're coming out. And Eddie's like, you mean it? And Mitchell goes, do you mean it? What you said about helping Nolan? And Eddie goes, I'll fight for him as hard as I'd fight for my own. And it's like, really? But why?
Yeah, you met this guy 5 minutes ago, and he tried to kill you.
Like, we've never even seen his son. We don't even know that his son exists at this point as an audience because we've seen no body. So it's just a theoretical 18-year-old who's probably an idiot.
See, at this
Just
point,
because he hasn't been caught
I
yet.
didn't even realise that Nolan was 18. I thought when we're talking about his kid that he was, like, literally a kid, like Christopher's age.
Yeah, they don't.
He's been in jail for 18 years, so I'm very surprised if he has a kid.
Anyway, they get out of the ambulance.
And Eddie's just like, we're coming out, don't shoot me,
Yeah,
please.
I'm like,
I'm a firefighter.
Why is Eddie the one
How do they
who's
know that
opening
he's
the door?
Yeah. And so then Eddie's like, okay, put down your gun and come on out. And then it's like this weird, slow climb out of the ambulance.
He has not put his gun down, by the way.
He has not put his gun down. He stands behind Eddie, and I was like, oh, great, now he's going to use Eddie as a human shield.
Mm-hmm.
And Mitchell's like, one more promise from you. And then he's like, oh, for fuck's sake, now what? What do you want now? I've given you everything. I just want to fucking go home and go to bed. And then Mitchell goes, when he asks about the donor, he can never know it was me. And then he shoots himself. But we don't actually see, like, we see him put the barrel of the gun up to his temple. We see someone yell, like, drop the gun. And then it cuts to inside the hospital. And interestingly, they decide to focus on Buck here. So when the gunshot happens, you see Buck, like, swirl around, eyes go wide, and he's just like, oh my god, Eddie.
Yeah, and while everyone else...
And just runs towards
everyone else,
the gunshot.
like, all of the background actors are running away from the camera, away from the sound of where the gunshot is, to protect themselves. Buck is immediately running towards the sound.
Buck's like, not again. This time his blood's not even in my mouth. I have to go fix that immediately.
But I mean,
yeah.
I think this is a really good point to bring out that Andrew Meyer wrote this episode. Andrew Meyer also wrote Suspicion, which is the episode that Eddie got shot in. So, number one, he seems to like shooting Eddie, or at least Buck. But it's just really interesting that twice now this guy has had Buck panicking.
He just really wants to shoot Eddie.
But yeah, there is trauma there for Buck, because he knows that Eddie is out there, he hears a gunshot, and his immediate assumption is that Eddie is shot. And so...
So yeah, we get Buck running, and he does my favourite part of Buck is still that, like, Oliver and Buck are two different people. Oliver runs like a professional, because he is a professional runner. Like, he runs properly.
He's an athlete.
He has form, right? He's an athlete. Whenever Buck runs, every time we see Buck run, Buck runs with all four limbs in totally different places.
I would say that most of the time we see Buck run, though, he's running in panic.
Yeah, like it's flailing. Like, his arms are going, his legs are going, and like it's insane.
And he all of
like
it is all legs. Giraffe. So when like his legs are going, it's pinwheels. It's like cartoon style.
Exactly, it's great. He's flailing towards Eddie
for Eddie the whole time. Eddie,
and yeah, he's just like, oh my god, Eddie, and then he runs up and then just stops because Eddie's fine. Eddie's just doing CPR. Eddie's just hanging out, and he's like, oh, okay, we're good, okay, cool. And so there's a police officer trying to stop Eddie from doing CPR, and Eddie's like, yeah, fuck off, cop. And then just turns to Buck and goes, hey Buck, like, go grab me a crash cart and help me keep his heart pumping. And Buck's like, what are you doing? And he's like, yeah, he shot himself. The bullet hit his brain. It's fine. We just need a crash cart. And Buck's like, Eddie is dead. Like, the bullet hit his brain. He's dead. And Eddie's like, yeah, but his heart isn't. Like, I just need his heart to stay. Can you just go get the crash cart? And Buck's like, okay. And just immediately goes, okay, fuck off, everyone. I've got to go get a crash cart. Prepper Noir.
This is so weird. So we've gone from, like, them saying that it's not, like, there's precedent for not allowing him to use his heart and they're not going to get a pardon and there's no way that they're going to be able to fix this, to then just doing the transplant. Like,
yeah, so they called the governor or something. I can't even remember.
No, do we get an explanation for what happened?
Athena...
Yeah, we do.
There is Athena and Elaine have a conversation where Elaine is...
this is where Athena is suddenly really concerned about the fact that
and
they have a heart.
we need Athena to be concerned.
But yeah, before that,
yeah,
because otherwise we wouldn't care, which we still
exactly.
don't. before that, Eddie, like, goes to hang out with the
Savannah.
baby mama.
Yeah, goes to talk to Savannah.
And he's just like, yeah, you probably got other things on your mind. And she just starts apologizing. She's like, yeah, I'm sorry he put you through that, but that's him. Couldn't do the right thing to save his life. Don't know what I'm going to tell Nolan. And Eddie goes, oh, like, about his father. And she goes, about me. How do I explain ever being, like, with a man like Mitchell? And, yeah, Eddie's like, oh, you know, you loved him, even if he wasn't worth, like, what? It's so, yeah, no one cares. Yeah, he made bad choices, blah, 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 bullshit. Savannah says you don't end up, like, with a man like Mitchell without having made a few bad choices of your own. Eddie praises her for putting him away. She says she did it for Nolan. Savannah says, I never wanted Nolan to be touched by any of this. And Eddie goes, neither did Mitchell. He was watching you for years from a distance. He saw that Nolan was a good kid.
How?
Mitchell didn't want to screw him up too. How?
I will say that, yeah.
It's so weird.
I was having a good time. I was willing to look past all the plot holes, but I got to this part and I've just gone, how?
How? Like, it would make sense if they hadn't just said that he had no visitors, no pen pals, nothing.
And he's been
like,
in
he had no
prison for
contact
18
with the
years.
outside world.
Yeah.
How have you been watching this random child that you didn't even... How did you find out it existed? And Eddie's like, yeah, right before he... The last thing he said was he can never know it was me.
I
Cool.
really wanted him to make, like, a hand gesture or something.
Like, he just hasn't cared this whole time and he just continues to not care. Anyway, yeah, so then Athena and Elena, this is where they do their whole, like... Athena's like, the boy's gonna die without that heart.
Yep. She wants...
Let's just let him do the surgery, figure out the rest later. And Elaine's like, we can't do that. It's above our pay grade. We don't make the laws. And Athena's like, okay, hang on, what does the law say? Death row inmates? And Elaine's like, yeah, we can't pardon him for a triple homicide, even if he's dead. And then they exposition everything except for whatever the fuck this happens here.
Yeah. So, Athena's plan is to have... I'm trying to get my names right. Mitchell's sentence commutated, which is basically a substitution. So the idea is that he is on death row, so let's take him off death row. Because if he's not on death row anymore, he can donate his organs. And apparently that's what happens. He got a sentence...
Yeah, because then they're just on the phone and then they high-five and
yeah, so they got his sentence reduced, so he's no longer on death row. It was probably going to be like, 5 life sentences or something instead of being on death row. But it's still enough for the paperwork to allow them to to go through with Mitchell being able to donate.
It's still a little bit of a somehow he was like, there was...
Yeah, it's just so weird.
Yeah, it's very strange.
And the fact that they exposition everything in this show except for whatever the fuck a commutation is.
Well, I think they're assuming that everyone is just, like, completely on board with Mitchell getting his wish and Nolan getting his heart, that they're willing to overlook.
They're like, I guess there's a perfectly good heart just wasting away over here. May as well cut it out.
What do we always say?
Surgery's cheap,
that when
right?
you're having a good time in the episode, you don't care about the details. So they're assuming that everyone's heartstrings are going to be tugging and they're going to be having such an emotional connection with this episode that they're not going to care about the fact that nothing makes any fucking sense.
Literally, like, I feel like I may have cared more if we, like, saw the kid a bit.
What, if they David Wallace it a little bit more? I don't think even that would work.
Yeah.
No,
like,
I don't think...
I don't know, like, I don't know anything about this kid. All I can do is take Mitchell's word for it, and he's Satan, so, like, why would I take his word that this kid's a good kid? He literally did a triple homicide. This kid might be a scumbag, but just not killed 3 people at the same time.
See, the only thing the only issue that I then had is, like, those horror movies where you get a transplant from somebody and you start to take on their characteristics.
Oh, yeah. And Sam and Dean are absolutely going to have to come knocking because fucking Mitchell is going to be, like haunting everything and killing people, and they're gonna have to kill this poor kid because now he has his father's heart in him.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking when later.
We have to kill this kid because your father was a murderer, and he'll be like, what? And his mum will be like, we didn't want to tell you.
Yeah, later when his mum is sitting there and she like puts her hand on his heart, and I'm like,
oh, that's fucking creepy. But then,
yeah,
but that also goes back to the fact that I thought Nolan was like an actual kid, and it would have been really easy to hide who his father was. But this is like an adult. Like, he's, 18, 19
like,
years old?
Where did my new heart come from?
He 100% knows who his father is and everything like that. Anyway.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. But yeah, we should probably write the fic where Sam and Dean come and have to kill this 18-year-old. Because his father's haunting everything.
We're going to have to take your heart out and salt and burn it because there's a spirit attached to it and it's possessing you through it. And
exactly.
Yeah. So we get an extended crossover with Grey's Anatomy where we get to see the transplant surgery, which I did not sign up for.
No, I don't really want to see that either.
And I just don't care.
And
it goes on for a long time too, because they show
like so
they're just
long.
handling this heart, like passing it around as they.
We could have met the 18-year-old and found out that he was he played, what was it, the cello.
This show has done extended surgical scenes, but I think the last time they really pushed the surgery was when Chim was getting the rebar taken out of his head, and it was Chim. So I had a vested interest.
We care about Chim.
I didn't have a vested interest in either of these people, so I don't care about their surgery.
No, a dog didn't even come in to eat the heart. Like, it was boring.
Unfortunately, the 118 apparently do care about this surgery because even though
why are they there?
Around, they're all hanging out of the waiting room.
Is it the end of their shift, or are they just like, there's no other fires?
No,
I'm going to say it's the end of their shift because they all kind of go home after this.
Yeah.
But you've got Eddie and Buck who are still there from when they like arrived in the ambulance. But then Hen and Ravi and Bobby have joined them and Athena, and those three are in civvies. So they've gone back to the station.
They went to the station, had a shower.
Logged off.
It's just like, oh, the boys are still there?
They've gone back to
we'll go say
to the hospital. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
at least Hen's just like, yeah, I don't care. I've got to go. Bye.
Yeah, Bobby walks in. Hen's like, I'm out. I got class. And Athena's like, class? What do you mean? She's like, yeah, med school. Remember? I'm still in med school. And oh, by the way, I've chosen that
Hen's in med school?
I've decided that I'm going to specialize in general surgery. Like, ma'am, not only are you in med school, but you want to be a surgeon? What the fuck?
She actually wants to be on Grey's Anatomy.
She really
She just saw that like, 5-minute cut of the heart transplant, and she's like, oh fuck, I want to see that every week.
She is the new Christina Yang.
She wants to be Meredith's person. Maybe she just wants to hook up with Amelia, because I wouldn't blame her.
Dr. Sexy?
It's McDreamy's sister.
Oh.
I don't know. I noped out of that show way before that. I think I got to Lexi and then I was out.
Oh, yeah, I took up with her too, but she's not canonically a lesbian, so...
So Hen is out. And this is so cute. When I was searching through Tumblr to try and find proof that Oliver and Ryan were wearing the wrong turnouts, somebody had zoomed in on this waiting room scene as Hen walks out and discovered that Oliver is blowing kisses in the background as Aisha walks off set.
He's so cute.
He looks so tired. They've obviously just been sitting there waiting.
And what's
like
the other thing that's really weird about this scene is that you've got Hen and Athena who are sitting like reasonably close to each other. You've got Buck who's manspreading out on the bench right at the back of the room with Ravi, and Eddie is sitting like the other side of the room down the front.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why have they spread everybody out?
Well, apparently there's nobody else in this hospital today, so...
I mean, let me just cake the clown makeup on, but why aren't Buck and Eddie sitting together?
Yeah.
Yeah, considering Buck just thought that Eddie was shot again. You'd think that he'd be joined at the hip.
Yes, they've gone through a trauma together. Maybe
Again.
I was just looking at like where everyone was in the scene, sort of set on the set, and just like, that is the weirdest placement of people. But so then Savannah comes in, Nolan is fine, and they're all like, "Oh, thank God, we can all go home now." Buck is like, "I'm going. I'll see you in 48 hours. I miss you already."
He's just running on fumes at the moment. He's so tired.
Eddie's going home to see Christopher. Athena is going to head to the station and clock out. Ravi doesn't move.
Yeah.
The poor kid is dissociating in the back of the waiting room. So Bobby says he'll be home a little bit later. He might be a little bit longer because he's got to deal with Proby. He takes him for coffee.
Little baby Proby. And Ravi's like, "I don't want to talk about it." And Bobby's like, "That's okay. We can have breakfast and not talk about it together."
Yeah, apparently the issue is that when you've gone through a traumatic situation like that, where it's full of danger, full of commotion, it's really hard to go back to a silent apartment by yourself. So I'm going to take you somewhere where it's still noisy and there are still lots of people and let you decompress for a little bit. So it's probably a good thing that when Buck goes home, his apartment is not silent and he's not alone, because Taylor is there.
It's so cute! I mean, obviously it's Taylor, so everything that they do is cute. But, like, Taylor's on the phone, like, doing work things, and then, like, Buck's like, "Oh, hey, you're still up." Or you're up, because I guess it's early in the morning.
Yes.
Anyway, he goes, "Hey, you're up." And she just immediately, like, runs over to hug Buck, because obviously she must have heard, like, what's happened. And she's just like, "You're safe! I was so worried." Buck's like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm glad it's over. Cried over my boyfriend a little bit. It's fine." Yeah. But yeah, so Taylor says the news wasn't clear about what started the whole thing. And so Buck sort of explains, like, it was orchestrated by the guy who wanted to break out and see his kid. And Taylor's like, "Oh, are you serious? Did it work? Did he get to see his kid?" And he's like, "No."
And that was it. That's the entirety of the scene with Buck and Taylor. I don't know.
But it's cute because, like, yeah, Buck got to go home and had someone there.
Oh, that part
so
is cute. I don't understand why Buck suddenly had to summarize the entire episode for Taylor.
Yeah, I don't know. Who cares? Meanwhile, Eddie gets home and doesn't summarize the entire episode, but Chris is still asleep. And so Eddie crawls into bed with him, and this is, like, just the most dad thing. It's so cute.
Yeah, he wakes Chris up, and Chris is like, "Dad, are you okay? Because, like, you're suddenly in bed with me." And Eddie's like, "Yeah, I'm really glad you're my kid." And Chris is like, "You're so fucking weird. I'm going back to sleep."
Yeah, it's relatable.
And that's where we end the episode on Eddie and Chris, which is good. A nice ending.
Yes. What have you got here on this Tumblr post?
Yes, so this is something that I saw also while I was searching Tumblr for the infamous switching of turnouts, which may be a Mandela effect or maybe just be me misremembering what I've seen. But it is a Tumblr post from Lives Between Pages, and it says, "I never noticed before, but when Mitchell says maybe me dying and him living," being Nolan, "living makes the world a better place, Eddie pulls back, almost recoils at it, and I bet he was hearing Buck in his head telling him, 'I think it would have been better if I was the one who was shot.' The shooting happened, 6 months ago at this point, and then, of course, that moment is followed by Buck hearing the shot and running toward it, and towards Eddie thinking it's happening again. Both of them pulling back to that worst moment, Eddie hearing Buck think he's expendable, Buck having contend with Eddie dying out by a bullet in the middle of the street and not being able to stop it." So it's the juxtaposition of Andrew's last episode suspicion with this one.
Ooh, if that's true, it's clever.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think they're that smart. But
No.
I like
Oh, no.
I like the fan fiction of it all.
It's like couch theory. It's like the writers have no idea what they're doing, but the fans, we've got our red string out and we're, connecting the dots that might not be there. But we're finding them anyway.
Back to the How I Met Your Mother podcast. How I Met Your Mother has had for years this whole colour theory. Where, like, certain characters are in certain colours at certain points, It's very common for TV shows, but How I Met Your Mother's is very strong. And in, like, one of the first episodes, they were like, yeah, we didn't mean to do that, but then we rewatched it, and it turns out
we did do that.
How it happened, but it absolutely happened. So, yeah, like, they don't mean to do it, but it's just like, yeah, gonna take that as a win.
911's got colour theory as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, every good TV show. Yeah. Every TV show has a colour theory. But yeah, I just love that the creators are just like, yeah, we didn't mean to, but cool. Go us.
So yeah, that's Brawl and Cell Block 911. I think, look, I enjoyed the episode apart from Mark Pellegrino, until you two ripped it to shreds.
Rip it to shreds? I'm just so confused.
Once again, we've ruined it by pulling it to bits. Sorry.
I mean, I'm not entirely mad because, like I said, I don't watch this episode because I don't like watching Mark Pellegrino. But I'm like, I came into this episode going, like, I really like the Riot storyline and I really like this, and now I'm sitting here going, actually, the Riot makes no fucking sense. And this doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense. So maybe when
I watched it, I enjoyed it. I was enjoying it, like, especially once I blocked out the Mark Pellegrino-ness of it all. But but yeah, rehashing it is kind of like, okay, this is kind of silly. But
maybe
anyway.
I'll just focus on the buddy of this episode and of, like,
the buddy is great.
The smouldering
10 out of 10 buddy.
Smouldering Eddie. I'll stick with the smouldering Eddie is what this episode will be for me now.
Yeah.
I'll just keep going back up to that screenshot of the two male model sons of bitches smouldering. Not at each other. Where are we? There we go. Yeah, that's a good shot. Yeah.
Okay, lock it in.
Lock it in, Eddie. Oh, that was not intentional. It works.
It's okay. The internationals won't get it.
No, for the internationals, the joke is that the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was hosted by a man named Eddie in Australia. So when you got the I'm putting in my answer and you have to lock it in, it was often lock it in, Eddie.
Yes. All right. So what have we got next week? I assume since the episodes got swapped around, then we're going back to the previous.
It's so weird because this summary is the other way around too. So this summary... so the promo summary that for Brawl and Cell Block 911, the heading of it, because I don't know if any of our listeners have seen what the promo summary looks like, but it comes up with like a headline, which for Brawl and Cell Block 911 was Bobby and the 118 are trapped in a prison riot on an all-new 911 Monday, November 8th on Fox. And then you get the actual description, which says responding to a fire at a prison, blah, 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 an all-new episode of 911 airing Monday, November 1st. And then when you get to next week's episode, which is called Ghost Stories, the header says that it's airing Monday, November 1st, but the actual description says that it's airing Monday, November 8th. It's so weird. But sometime in November, around the same time as Brawl on Cell Block 911 was airing, not entirely sure which order, the members of the 118 race to rescue a man who claims he was carjacked, shot, and buried alive. And then they arrive at a home where the owner thinks that her roommate is a ghost. Hen receives a visit from the past, and Athena and the family are concerned that Harry is still haunted by visions of Jeffrey and the all-new Ghost Stories.
Oh, I can feel a theme coming on.
Can you? Do you think?
I have literally zero memory of this episode. Like, none of it rings a bell at all.
You must have
but
binged so
you know
quickly through series 5.
Apparently. I don't
Dear.
remember season 5 at all. Maybe I was still just traumatized from fizzy water that I blocked it out. But I was like, when I was reading the summary, I was like, didn't we do this one already? And then I looked up what episode I thought it was, and I thought it was an episode I thought it was an episode from season 9. Because I was like, I swear to God, we just watched this a couple months ago. Yeah, we did. It was the episode I'm thinking of just happened. Oh. It's season 9. It just happened in October.
I don't remember the roommate as a ghost, but I'm sure it'll jog my memory, unless that one never happened.
I'm going to laugh so hard if that was cut out, and that's why we're so confused.
I mean, you can never tell with these summaries anymore.
Literally.
Triggers for the episode Ghost Stories include a baby at threat, CPR performed on a baby. Oh, really? Jesus Christ. Childhood PTSD and a childhood threat. I'm guessing is that the same as the baby being a threat? Are there multiple children at threat? Claustrophobia from being buried alive. Gun violence and therapy.
Yay, more therapy.
Hopefully it's Athena going to therapy.
Please be Athena going to therapy.
It'll be like watching this episode for the first time again.
Yeah, that's it. I get a new episode of 911 every week. It's great. I'm starting to wonder, because I feel like I was watching one of the seasons at the same time as season 7. And so I'm starting to wonder if I got up to season 5 and then season 7 restarted and I just kept, I was watching both at once, and that's why I'm so confused.
Maybe, yeah.
Because it did get to a point where I was just like, I don't even care anymore. I need to watch the new ones.
We also got, in our comment from Kira, she was enthusing about heated rivalry and wanted us to come and scream at her with about it. And we are probably at some stage going to do some kind of a episode about that. So stay tuned.
We'd absolutely say it's just for you, Kira. But not going to lie, we want to do it too. So it's just for us and you. You're now just part of the podcast.
Yeah. We're adopting you. Tell us what you thought about this episode. Did you, how do you feel about Mark Pellegrino? No, don't tell us that. Did you like this episode as much as we did?
Which apparently wasn't very much by the end of it.
No, I did until I pulled the thread.
It's enjoyable, yeah. It was a fun ride. Until, we looked too closely at it. Yes, send us your thoughts. Leave us a comment or send us an email. All of those different ways are listed on our website, thatweewooshow.com. Thank you for listening this week, and we will see you next time to talk about episode 7, which is called Ghost Stories. See you then.
Bye.
Bye.
911 is a fictional show, but many of the situations portrayed happen in the real world too. If any of the topics we've discussed in this episode have affected you, please know you're not alone. You can call or text numbers in your country for help. Just Google crisis support in your location to find out the number. If you enjoy our podcast, you can help us out by leaving us a review on Spotify or your preferred listening app, and by sharing our social media posts. Find out more at thatweewooshow.com.
So I was literally my room was so hot I felt like shit. I was just lying in front of the fan, dying. And so I was lying down watching the episode, and that last, pretty much as soon as they got into the club, it was so intense I sat up to pay attention.
Oh, the club scene was
because
amazing.
I was like, holy shit. The song choice was amazing. The whole, holy shit. And then I didn't get the weirdness, because I obviously haven't read the books yet. I just haven't had time, because I absolutely plan to. But I didn't get the weird ADR thing that you.
Oh, that was earlier. That was earlier in the episode.
No. I know that when that was, but yeah, I didn't get that.
I went back and watched that scene. Which Ellen, it's the one where they're fucking on the couch, and
when they first name each other.
Yep. And Elias accidentally calls him Shane, and so Shane responds with Elia, and when I first watched it, the audio felt so off that I initially thought that Shane was actually the one that said Shane, because it did not sound like Connor. So I thought it was like, one of the, which was really weird because in the books, it happened like it happened on screen. It was an accident, Ilya calling him Shane, and then Shane responded. But I went back and I watched it today. I thought it was ADR because their mouths didn't move. I realise now it's possible to say both Ilya and Shane without actually moving your lips. You can kind of mumble both names without actually moving your mouth. I still, just from the sound quality, I still think it was ADR, and it felt really weird in the moment.
Yeah, I didn't have the weird disconnect.
That's just me.
It was cool. It made me sit up and notice that part as well. I was like, oh, they said the names.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh. But yeah, no, the club set, like, I was sitting up like, holy shit, because, like, it's just so intense. And then, one of my friends in the other server was like, because we were discussing it, and he was also obsessed with, like, the end scene. Yeah, because they were actually talking about hockey before I watched it. I came in like 2 hours later and I'm like, I have no fucking idea about actual hockey. But I just finished episode 4 and the whole end of that episode was so intense, holy fuck. And he goes, I know when the penny dropped that Ilya in the shower was what Shane was imagining to get through sex with Rose, I went wild. And I was like, oh my God!
No!
I thought that was what was happening.
Because I was, like, I'm watching it and I'm just like, he would have gone home with the woman, surely. Like, why is he... And yeah, that makes so much more sense. And I'm like, oh my God.
No, see, I don't think he would have, though, because in the books it's quite well established that he stops sleeping around once he starts sleeping with Shane. So he was using the chick in the club to make Shane jealous, and then he went home alone. So I'm okay with him going home alone because from the books it's canon that he becomes monogamous for Shane, even though Shane doesn't know it. But I'm going to have to go back and read the books because I do think at one point it was written in that, yes, he was thinking about Ilya to get through sex with Rose. And if that's what was happening in that scene, then oh my God.
That's definitely what it seemed like. Like, as soon as he said it, I was like, holy fuck!
I will say, though, but, like, once we got to Ilya in the shower and he turns around and it's just, like, really intense close-ups on their faces, I had to stop watching. Because those...
Bex is too autistic for eye contact, you guys.
No, it's not the eye contact. It's those men are 20 years old. I am just incredibly uncomfortable watching 20-year-old children fake coming, looking me dead in the eye as they're doing it. I'm just like, no,
yes.
that's just so wrong.
It's a bit much sometimes.
It's got to be hard for you, Bex, because you're getting to a point now when you're like, oh, they're closer to my children's age than mine.
Oh no, like my kids are.
No, they're old.
No, it's not that. I mean, yes, I am still old enough to have theoretically been their mother. It's just more that,
yeah, exactly.
Like I'm looking at them going, they are 20 years younger than me. This seems wrong to be like staring at Connor's ass at this point. And I don't need to know what Connor's O-face looks like. I don't. It's wrong. Well, not Connor's O-face, Ilya's O-face. Although, I'm going to go slightly disgusting for a second, but I want to know if, like, the grabbing of his ass when he is jerking himself off, is that what Connor does, or is that what Ilya does?
It's what Hollander imagines Ilya does. Yeah.
Oh my God. But yeah, the club scene, I love that the fact that it starts with when it's Ilya, it's Tattoo doing all the things she said, and then when we switch over to Shane, it becomes the cover version of all the things she said.
Yeah, it was really well done, like very effective.
You know, the other thing I noticed in the episode that I thought was really clever, like in the beginning when it's just the two of them training and they're texting backwards and forwards and it covers a span of 2 years, the technology changed. So you can see the earbuds that they're using and the headband,
Oh, that's cute.
The headphones that they're using, and the style of texting that comes up on the screen changes as technology got better over those 2 years.
Oh.
I love when they do things like that. I was
so
like,
cool.
Again, half asleep dying, so but yeah, that's so cool. It wasn't that I wasn't paying it was that I wasn't paying attention to the new one, like the very tiny details.
Like I said, I've got to focus on other things, so I'm not focusing on them so much.
Can't watch his ass, can't watch his ass, can't watch... Oh, earbuds! Yes. That's nice!
It's a very nice ass, but yeah.
Oh, God. I try not to think about it, because this fucking whole love saga of theirs has to be going for like 12 years at this point, and we're only on episode 4, so they're probably like 86.
But so the thing is that in the books they met when they're teenagers. So they're still, even though it's been like 20 years, they're still
teenagers.
No, but like it's
being 17 does feel that long sometimes.
They're still in their they're still in their like their 20s. They're not old at this point because they met in the books when they were so young. I know they had to age them up for the TV series because nobody wants to watch 17-year-olds getting on. You know, I know Crave is quite happy to do the soft porn, but I think they draw the line at like teenagers because that's gonna be be breaking the law for everybody.
It is kind of funny that they like it just keeps flicking through the years and they do not age at all.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't even try.
They're just constantly 21 years old.
Yeah, I found that strange.
Like they were 21 in like 2009. We're now up to like 2015 and they're still 21. It's like, okay.
They've just got really good genetics. They just don't age.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, holy fuck.
Yes.
And so, please don't spoil anything. Yeah. But do you have a general idea of where season 1 is going to, like the story of season 1 is going to go?
I'm assuming that it will end at the end of Heated Rivalry.
Because they've just been picked up for season 2.
So I'm assuming season 2...
And so I'm like, are they doing book...
I'm assuming season 2 would be the other characters plus the long game. Because what's really interesting is that you go from Heated Rivalry, and then the next 2 books are other hockey players. But Ilya is, like, in those books. And then you get to the long game, and you get Ilya's perspective of those books. Plus...
I've got to laugh about the fact that in this universe, like, all the hockey players are gay.
It's a little bit hard to believe when you go from like the NHL is the most homophobic sporting event, and then you read these books and you're like, are they just all secretly gay?
Yeah,
well, aren't all the women hockey players gay? Like,
that's something different. That's different.
It's like
that's
soccer
different.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just funny that like all of the hockey players in this universe are closeted and gay, like all of them, because there seems to be so many characters
until they meet Ilya, and like Ilya's like the gay fairy godmother and just drags them all out of the closet behind him like little ducklings.
He's like, you think you have it tough in Russia?
In Russia. But I also find it interesting that like Ilya is book 2. So book 1 is Scott and Kip, and usually when they do these like romance series, the characters from book 1 are the like the nucleus.
Exciting, yeah.
They're the ones that collect all the other characters. They're the ones that flow through, and so if you're interested in those characters, you read the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th book to see those characters do cameos. But in this one, Rachel's gone, yeah, I'm not even interested in Scott. We're going to leave Scott in book 1. It's going to be Ilya that's going to be...
I don't want to play with you anymore.
Ilya's going to be the one that's going to connect all of the books together. Like, Scott shows up, but he's really just not that interesting.
Yeah, he's just too straight white man, even though he's gay.
He's just too old, he's too boring, he's too, like, yeah.
But yeah, so there is, like, because I know there's a whole bunch of books, but yeah, like, I was like, are they just going to be doing these 2 for season 2? Is it going to be expanded, like, because obviously they just did Kip and
Well, they've got to finish.
Scott,
They've got to finish
whatever his name
Kip and
is.
Scott's storyline, which I'm assuming will be will be included in the rest of season 1, because their storyline is important for Shane and Ilya.
Okay.
But then they name dropped another character in episode 4, and he has his own book. So I'm wondering if the fact that they name dropped him specifically is as an introduction to him, so that we will meet him next season and we will see his storyline.
Yeah, cool. Interesting.
Mm.
Also, Instagram, like yesterday, was like, if you like heated rivalry, you'll like, and it just kept showing me hockey books, like hockey, and I was like,
No.
No, I really don't care about
I
hockey.
don't care that much about the setting. Like, I don't care about the hockey.
That's the funny thing about Heated, like the Game Changer series, is that it's like a hockey romance, but there's no hockey in it. Like, we see more hockey on the TV series than we do in the books.
Yeah, it's funny when stuff like that happens, because it's just like, why did you even, why choose this universe?
I'm assuming it's because
people just write what they know.
Yeah,
like,
So
she's Canadian.
she
funny.
Rachel Reid is Canadian. She grew up in hockey, and I think it's like the taboo relationship, because the NHL is so homophobic, and
It's it's like for all you young hockey players, pay attention.
yes, very much so.
It's like, there's still none that are out. Like, it's still super homophobic.
So it's the excitement of having this secret relationship.
Makes it a really good setting. Yeah. But yeah, hated rivalry. Good times.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit
Enjoying
annoyed
it.
with the casting above Rose, though, because that's kind of not how I pictured
The cast.
pictured Rose in my head, and then the fact that I've known.
Oh, the costume. Yeah, that's right. You were saying something about that.
Yeah. So she is from Yellow Jackets. She was like, so Yellow Jackets had young and old versions of the same character, and so the main character was Shauna, played by Melanie Linsky, and Sophie Nélisse was the young Shauna, and so she's got a very, very definite sort of place in my mind as young Shauna. So she shows up on this show, and I'm going, that's not Rose, that's Shauna.
That's so funny, because Melanie plays a character named Rose on 2.5 Men. And so my brain just like stuttered for a second there.
I don't know, I got the image in the book that Rose was like this, beautiful, exotic, supermodel-esque actress. I don't think that's who the casting is in the show, but that's just me with my visions of a character not being, like, the casting director not agreeing with my vision, so that's fine. But yeah,
I guess it's finding someone the right age and the right...
yeah, it's just, I wish, like, I don't care about Rose anyway, but I wish that I'd cared a little bit more about her, and I don't because of the casting. Like, I'm quite happy for the storyline to reach its ultimate ending.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Rose and Hollander are going to break up? No.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I said no spoilers, Bex. Jesus.
That's your interpretation of
my
my
God,
words.
though,
I did not actually say that. You are putting words in my mouth.
Seriously, this, like, episode 4, though, so much Dean Winchester beat sheet.
What?
Like, Shane having to get drunk to talk to the girl, but being totally sober and domestic with Ilya. Like, oh my god.
Can we talk about the ginger beer?
Oh yeah.
Oh
the
yeah,
ginger
what's
beer.
with the ginger ale?
What's the deal with that?
Right, but
He drinks ginger beer with Ilya at his place.
So the first part is that Ilya gives him a ginger beer without Shane ever having to ask for it. He's like, I'm going to make you tuna melt, and I'm going to give you drink, and I'm giving you ginger beer. Shane has never told him that he likes ginger beer. Ilya just knows that he likes ginger beer. But it's also that all throughout the episode, Shane keeps asking for ginger beer. He asks for it at the restaurant, and they can't give him a ginger
and they
beer.
don't
He
have
asks
it.
for it at the bar, and he gets a beer. Instead, he goes to Ilya's. And the one place that he can get the ginger beer that he wants is at Ilya's.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I picked up on that. Like, no one's got that ginger beer, only one person. Yeah, and then when he leaves, after, like, they first name each other, and I'm like, no, don't freak out, baby, it's going to be okay. You'll be okay. But no, then he goes and freaks out.
It's too domestic.
Far too domestic. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I'm, like, maybe not quite halfway through book 1 at the moment. I'm, like, kind of speed reading it because it's, like,
boring.
I don't really care about Scott and, like, they're very cute and everything, but yeah.
I went straight to hated rivalry and then was just like, actually, I should probably finish Dean Winchester beat sheet first. So
they are cute, but they are like cookie cutter romance
lesbians.
Yeah, they're very vanilla.
I like
just
the pining of Shane and Ilya, just like years.
Need some angst.
And the other thing with it is that they are very like, it feels very fanficky. Like, the smut is kind of like not the best. It's great, it's hot, but it's like I'm reading it going, oh yeah, this is fan fiction.
Did you see, like, there was that revelation that it was Stucky fan fiction? Did you see the update to that though?
No.
So the update was that, like, Rachel admitted that yes, it was posted on AO3, but the update was that she didn't know that didn't think that you could post original fiction on AO3, so she wrote Game Changer as original fiction, added the serial numbers by turning it into Stucky, posted it on AO3, got her feedback, and then filed the serial numbers back off.
What? Wait, what? So she wrote it as original fiction and then turned it into fan fiction?
Yeah,
so
and then
that
turned
she
it
could
into
post
Stucky.
it on AO3 because she thought it was for fandom works only.
Oh God, that's
and
kind
then
of inspired, but also like a bit of a psycho thing to do. Like, what? That's a lot of trouble to go to.
So it's like, the irony is that we're all saying, like, yeah, it's so fanfic, and she's like, actually, I wrote that as my first book of, like, original characters.
Okay.
That's why it worked as a Stucky fanfic, because apparently your writing is just naturally fanfic-esque.
Yeah, you just naturally write fan fiction.
I just love that, like, fanfic used to be, like, this underground thing. Like, you'd say you'd read fanfic and people would be like, ugh. And, like, I never told, like, people that I knew IRL that, like, I wrote fanfic or read fanfic. Like, it was just the little corner of the internet that I hid away in, right?
Mm.
And now it's, like, just been renewed for season 2. It's just, like, obviously this is, like, it's technically, it's fanfic adjacent, I guess.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, it's like the silly little gay fanfic is, like, Craver, like, yeah, it's our number one most growing, like, thing. It's on the HBO, like, main page, like, at the top of their list all the time.
Yeah.
I think they're probably happy it's just it wasn't Hermione or Rilo. It wasn't a fucking Rilo fic.
Yeah, this time it wasn't Rilo. But yeah, it's just like, man, like, remember when we were ostracized and now, like...
Well, that's because of, who was it, Anne Rice? Anne Rice had put the fear of God into everybody, but now she's dead, and so everyone's just, okay, cool.
No one cares.
Fanfic's fine. No one's going to sue us.
Now we can just all do it. Yeah.
And, like, it's also because, like, the networks and stuff, they've realised how much of an impact it has. Like, it's in a good way.
Oh, it's because you've got your inbuilt audience.
Yeah.
Because if you've either got the people who read the fanfic originally, or you can leak that, oh, this used to be insert fandom ship here, and that entire fandom will come racing over to see what it is.
Oh, yeah, that's it, yeah.